Welcome to Bro People Play Festival's Kingdom-Polyamory-Play. We're so excited to have you here tonight. We're so grateful that you came and you bought tickets to see our show. We're so grateful for the amazing creative team, all of our incredible actors. A couple of housekeeping things. Exits are there and in the back. Please silence all your phones. Do not take any photos, no videos. We are recording this. It will be on YouTube, available for you to watch however many times you would like in the future. Also, you paid for your ticket today because this is likely our last semester in the Goldberg Theater. So if you are feeling inclined to support us further in acquiring an off-campus venue, we will have a QR code you can scan and you can send us your money, and we would greatly appreciate it. With all that said, thank you so much for coming and enjoy Kingdom-Polyamory-Play.
And making sure you're there in a timely manner.
A king must never be late. Yes, I know. I must keep a quality appearance of myself. Don't blame me, Isola. Blame her, as usual.
Me? As usual?
Yes, you making me sleep in once again. Why else would I be late?
Perhaps you're just the lousy king.
I am no such thing. Right, Isola?
Don't lie to him, Johanne.
You're both right, Your Majesty. You can't let temptations distract you from your kingly duties.
Temptations?
Playing it safe. The smart person you are, Isola.
That is why you hired me, Your Majesty.
Safe? You shielded Stefan more than I. And here I thought I was your favorite. I'm a little hurt.
The outfit you requested, Your Majesty.
Bless Marianne, thank you.
Of course, Your Majesty. It is my duty. Let's get you dressed.
Yes, let's. Have a wonderful day, my dear. Go be the good king I know you are.
Thank you, my heart. I will see you as soon as I'm done.
You have to take the long route to your meeting, Your Majesty. Commoners await you in the main courtyard, and you'll be late if you're spotted.
That was today, wasn't it? I can't ignore their cries, Isola.
Of course you can't, which is why I already told them to return 9:15 when you'll be done with your meeting. However, there may be some stragglers unknown to the news that may still try to speak with you. So I do encourage the longer route in case.
What would I do without you?
Quite fine, Your Majesty.
On the contrary.
Now that he's gone, tell me, Johanne, you're on my side, right?
Of course, Your Majesty.
Even though everything I said was completely false?
Your jests do amuse me greatly.
As they should. I'm quite hilarious if I do say so myself, and I'm your favorite, right?
Your Majesty.
Johanne.
You know my answer.
And it's malarkey. You can be loyal to us both, but it doesn't hurt to have a favorite.
It seems it would.
It wouldn't hurt me. I'm not the jealous type of girl.
Then my neutrality shouldn't bother you.
It's not your neutrality that bothers me, it's your passivity. You have the right to your own thoughts and opinions, you know. No need to please Stefan or I.
I have my own thoughts and opinions, and it is that I don't have a favorite. Like every parent has no favorite child.
Everyone knows that's not true. Every parent has a favorite child, so you must have a favorite ruler.
Well, what if I said you weren't my favorite?
Am I not?
Your Majesty, careful, I am almost done.
Am I not?
We are only speaking in hypotheticals, Your Majesty.
Playing it safe. Once more, I see.
Well, what if I preferred His Majesty? What would you do?
Firstly, I'd ask why I'm clearly better than him.
And I'd say for the same reasons you carry love for him every day. To a certain extent, of course.
Will this do, Your Majesty?
Yes, Marianne, perfect as always. You're excused. I need to speak sense to Johanne over here.
Yes, Your Majesty. I pray for thee, Johanne Sola.
Thank you, Marianne. Seems I may need it.
Then, for the same reason Stefan loves me, I should be your favorite. A better reasoning would be, I see him more. We share more things in common, or we spend more time together. Or, he treats you with more kindness than I do. So I'll ask again, why do you prefer him over me, hypothetically, of course?
Well, I do see him more often.
Only because everything has to go through him in order to be set into action?
Only a partial reason. We do also share many interests in common.
Oh, count your primitive, overly masculine acts against me. Excuse me. I don't care to cause bloodshed, drink ale, or fight blackluster swords.
Lackluster? Do you think our swords are lacking, Your Majesty? We can get that fixed right away.
No, Johanne, I just prefer to battle with a different kind of sword.
Oh.
Are you gonna say he treats you with more kindness than I do?
I'd be lying through my teeth if I did.
At least you got that right.
I pray you can excuse my boldness, Your Majesty, but your confidence on this matter is rather baffling. Name me the reason why you're so sure you're my favorite over His Majesty.
Easy.
Oh, really?
Yes. Really.
Enlighten me then, Your Majesty. This?
The electricity we have with each other. I bet you felt it too from the moment we met. It didn't take us long to drop formalities and become companions and confide in each other. While you will always be a little too formal than you need to be, unlike with Stefan, you're able to let your guard down with me.
Your Majesty, Marianne dropped your necklace.
Oh, she did. What would I do without you and your keen eye?
Quite fine, Your Majesty.
Joanne, would you put it on me?
Of course, Your Majesty.
All right, I'll ask one final time, and then I'll be done with it. You have my word. Am I your favorite?
I swear to you, I have no favorite. However, the reason you have stated before is why I care for you so deeply.
I have to thank you for finding the necklace and for putting it on me.
There is no need. It is my job.
How does it look?
The jewel is of high quality and is in pristine condition.
Let me rephrase myself. How do I look?
The jewel pales in comparison to your sheer beauty.
Thank you, Joanne.
I shouldn't have done that.
Joanne!
I can't believe I just did that. I am such a fool. And how hypocritical am I? Your Majesty, you cannot let temptations distract you from your kingly duties. Well, what happened to that person, Joanne? I'd like that person to come back, please, because you have just kissed the Queen of Etruria, violating your duties as the kingdom's royal chamberlain. I just kissed the Queen of Etruria. And dare I say, she didn't stop the kiss. I did. I'd even be bold enough to say she kissed me back. Well, does that mean she liked it? Well, of course she liked it. More, allowed it? Why would she allow me to kiss her if she didn't reciprocate the same feelings? No. No. She cannot be infatuated with me because she is in love with the king. Unless she doesn't love the king.
What?
You didn't hear anything.
Oh, I didn't hear everything, but I 100% heard the last thing. What do you mean Her Majesty isn't in love with the king?
Listen to me, Blabbermouth. You didn't hear anything. You will not say a word to anyone, especially your equal of a Blabbermouth brother. You will forget it all. Do you understand me? What are you even doing here? Shouldn't you be guarding the council room door alongside Elric?
I was. I do my job, thank you very much. I was actually on my way to come fetch you, but now I need to hear everything about this.
No, you don't. You will continue to do your job by telling me where His Majesty needs me.
You can tell me you know. I already promised to keep my mouth shut.
No. Where shall I be heading off to?
Did you hear her say something bad about the king?
Eydis, where does His Majesty need me?
No, she's far too kind for that. I mean, just because you fall out of love with someone doesn't mean you have to hate them. Unless His Majesty did something.
No! Why would you even insinuate such a thing?
I don't know. Usually when I think of people falling out of love, it's usually because of cheating or something like that.
Cheating?
Yeah, being unfaithful and all that stuff. Maybe he kissed some other lass. She found out and got real angry about it. I mean, I wouldn't blame her.
Kissing is considered cheating these days?
It always was.
Well, what if the lass didn't initiate the kiss? What if the lass kissed him first?
Then I'd say it depends.
Depends on what exactly.
If you liked it.
Well, if she kissed me back.
Well, she kissed you back. Johanne.
I didn't mean to say that.
Johanne!
I meant to say things to keep our little hypothetical playing.
You kissed the queen!
Why don't you scream it louder for the whole kingdom to hear?
Oh, Christ almighty. I can't believe it.
You have to keep it a secret to your grave.
Oh, it's going to my grave. Because if word gets out, you'll be yours.
You really think so?
What do you mean? Yeah, I really think so. You kissed his wife? The king's wife?
No. I can't believe it myself. It just happened.
Things like this don't just happen, Johanne.
I swear to you, it just did. There was something in the air. Everything slowed down. My heart was beating through my chest. I could even hear it in my ear. She took my hand into hers. And as she was holding them, her touch burned through mine so much so that my hand soon became numb. I don't think I let out a single breath until after we parted.
You've always been fond of Her Majesty. By the sounds of it, you may be in love.
No. I don't know.
Well, what are you gonna do?
What am I going to do? Pray to the high heavens she doesn't tell the king and fire me.
I don't think she'll fire you. Not because you're diligent at your job. But by the sounds of it, she might like you back.
Really? Well, I can't let that happen. It is my job to put Hachiria first, so I must fix this situation. See why the queen might be feeling this way in the first place. I mean, they look so happy together, so I'm quite surprised.
And how do you plan on doing that?
The king does need me, right?
Right.
Perhaps I'll do a little prying first and see where it takes me. If word gets out about this, imagine how people will view our kingdom.
But how it'll look like for you? You'll be known as a homewrecker who ruined Hachiria.
Thank you, Eydis, for stating the obvious. Just take me to His Majesty, please.
All right this way.
Apologies, Your Majesty, for arriving at a snail's pace.
As long as you arrive. Was I interrupting a good conversation between you and Ingrid?
You didn't interrupt anything at all. Thank God. But how can I be of some assistance, Your Majesty?
Originally, the goal of today's council meeting was to discuss the kingdom's finances, until it quickly became a council of messages.
What seems to be the problem for such a switch in topic?
There has been a steady food decline due to a resurgence in our population. I suggested that we divert more of our pay towards our farmers so that they will be able to produce more quickly and efficiently. However, the Chancellor pointed out that the problem was not our farmers being unable to acquire what they need to produce goods, but them not having enough space to cultivate the food this kingdom requires. That and this population increase calls for us to increase the threshold of our dynasty.
You want to ask our neighboring allies for the trade of land?
Exactly. It'll require research, time, money, and I can only give so much of that.
And you want me to start working on it? Right away?
No. At least, not yet.
Oh, apologies. What is it that you need?
Advice.
You'd have to be more specific, Your Majesty.
It is imperative that I go about this the right way. I want you to tell me, Isola, which of the three I should put my time into.
Well, it depends on your priorities. I'd say Ingrid, your faithful wife, is a high priority for you.
She indeed is. But being a good king also matters. The citizens of Etruria depend on me for their livelihoods. Weren't you the one telling me this morning not to let temptations like her get in the way of my work?
I did say that. You are so right, Your Majesty. And that is true. You should focus on your duties. But when was the last time you had some alone time with her?
Has been a while.
Exactly. It's a hard job balancing your work life and your family life. Perhaps this is the time to reflect on your relationship. Will you devote everything into research or leave to these neighboring kingdoms to discuss lands when you can pay someone to do that for you? Like me. You pay me to do that. I can do that, Your Majesty.
I could. The treasurer said we have the funds for me to do such a thing, but that's taking the short way out, I feel. This dynasty is mine as much as Ingrid's. I think she'd understand.
I'm sure she would. I think Her Majesty understands more than anyone how committed you are to Etruria, but...
What?
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to challenge
For
you.
the love of God, stop apologizing.
I'm sorry? I mean, what?
This is the third time you've apologized in a matter of minutes. You're acting like you're guilty of something.
I'm not guilty of anything.
Then speak your mind without so much fear. You act like I'm gonna devour you if you dare speak against me. So uptight. I'm the one who asked you for help, you know. I want to hear what you have to say because I value your opinion, Johanne. That is your name, isn't it?
Indeed, it is. I'm sure Her Majesty understands more than anyone how committed you are to Etruria, but...
What?
But are you sure you're not neglecting her? Maybe that's why she desires your presence in bed longer, because she doesn't see your face enough in a day. Can your relationship really afford for your mind to be elsewhere?
Say it does like it doesn't pain me either.
I'm sure it does, Your Majesty, which is why I'm willing to devote everything to you, to Etruria. All you have to do is ask, and it will be done.
No.
Your Majesty,
I appreciate your concern for Ingrid and I, but I want you here.
the house won't go into chaos if I'm gone.
I'm not concerned about the house.
Oh, don't worry about me, Your Majesty. I'll be fine. I won't be doing it alone. There will be others here in the castle ready to aid you as much as I. So you'll be able to have the break that you rightfully deserve.
I don't think you're understanding me. I need you here.
You always act like you need me in order to do your job.
Because instead of problems, you give me solutions. You make my life easier in such a way. Like now, for example. You already have all the plans in your head and are so eager to execute them. It's just in your nature. You push me to be better, and at the same time, never forget that in order to push me, you must also support me. Wherever I reside, you must be there as well. I'm going to be a tad selfish, nevertheless, I'm the king and have final say. We must come up with a solution that benefits all three of us.
First, we must gather research. We can save time, money, and resources if we figure out the land we desire the most first. We can set up training camps, 3 in each neighboring territory, 4 if they have polarizing terrain. Allow for enough time to yield results. And the kingdom we desire most will be the journey we discuss with.
I marvel at that brain of yours every day, always 5 steps ahead.
Lastly, instead of just I going to the neighboring kingdoms, you and Ingrid could.
No, correct yourself.
Lastly, instead of just I going to the neighboring kingdoms, the 3 of us, together, could go to the kingdom we desire once we receive our intel. All we have to do is pray that our allies have land to give to begin with. This continent is starting to become quite packed.
And if we can expand, I know you'll have a solution waiting for me. Thank you, Johanne, for the advice. I must prepare to take this to council. We shall talk soon.
Are you no longer calling me Isola?
Are you uncomfortable by the gesture?
No, Your Majesty. It's just for 3 years I have been Isola. Why the sudden switch?
I don't know. Just sort of came out. A name as sweet as yours shouldn't be hidden all because of formality. No?
Our moments didn't end with a kiss. But why was it equally as electrifying? The gaze he had upon my body before swiftly exiting left a cold shiver down my spine as if I was afraid. Christ almighty, I should be afraid. Joanne? He never calls me Joanne. One moment he's all about keeping formalities and personal work life separate. And then he speaks as if he cannot live without me. His servant. He has a whole wife, and he decides to flirt with me. He flirted with me first. First the queen, and now the king? Oh, this is much worse than I thought. Are they having such horrible marriage troubles, unbeknownst to me, to where they are both actively flirting with anyone for a sense of comfort? Who else have they teased with their touches, words, and gestures? I can't believe I may not be the only one. No, I shouldn't be jealous of such a thing. I should want them together, happy and faithful. Lord be it. Oh God, please give me mercy for such foolish thoughts.
What goes that look upon thy face?
Eydis, bless, you're just the person I want to see.
Oh, really? Feels rather nice to be desired.
Oh, it is just because you know of the rather sticky situation I'm in. Oh, I don't mean it rudely. It's just that I have made a discovery while talking to the king.
Did your plan actually work?
It did, but it left rather unexpected results.
Oh, do tell.
No blabbing to that brother of yours.
Yes, I already remember. I already told you, remember?
I am just being cautious. The discovery I have made proves that Her Majesty is not the only one looking for other suitors.
You're joking!
Quiet down! I am led to believe that due to the actions His Majesty has shown me while discussing plans for Hachiria that he is, well, bored, uninterested, perhaps no longer titillated by Her Majesty.
How can you be so sure?
I offered him time off of his kingly duties, said I'd do it for him if he asked so he could spend time with his wife. I'm rather surprised to say the results made it seem he would rather die than be alone with her for a moment.
No!
Yes, my friend. I kept asking him to spend time with the queen for him to reject it every time. In fact, he doesn't want to be alone with her so bad, he wants me in between them, or rather, third-wheeling every place they go. And get this, he randomly started calling me Joanne. As if by deformalizing me, he can see me as some sort of object of his desire. And if someone like him. The king takes his job rather seriously, but calling me Joanne, their relationship must be in ruins. So this plan to reignite their love is going to be harder than I expected.
Did anything else of note happen between you two in the council room?
How did you know?
Well, you said it yourself. By deformalizing you, he can now see you as an option. So does he?
Well, he did do something rather flirtatious.
A kiss?
No, it was not a kiss. It was the way he looked at me. The king penetrated me with his...
Penetrated?
Why did you have to scream that? For Christ's sake, someone might have heard.
You traitor, how could you do this to Her Majesty?
It was not what you heard. Well,
Brother, calm
not
down.
exactly.
Not exactly. Sister, you are chatting with this traitorous monster as if you've known of their deeds. You do know of their deeds!
Brother, listen.
I've heard enough. To think you have such little care for Hachiria, the home which you swore your life to serve.
From his perspective, I might have to agree.
Joanne, not helping!
Never mind that. Elric, you must hear me first. Do you really think I'd do such a thing?
Maybe I misheard. You're right. You're as faithful to the royal family as I. You would never break the royal family apart. It is very unlike you. You liar! Oh, I must tell the queen immediately.
Elric, please! You have to hear me first. I promise you that while I have made a grave mistake, there is a deeper and more dangerous problem I need your counsel on. If you hear my story and believe you should tell Her Majesty of my treachery, I will allow you to with no resistance, please.
All right, fine. What has happened? What is your grave mistake, traitor?
Traitor might very well be a fine name for me. What you are hearing was the start of something that happened between me and the king while we were in the council room. He has plans to expand Techeria for the well-being of his citizens. I offered to do all the work for him so he can spend time with his wife, the queen. However, he kept rejecting the offer, and I found it quite odd. And then he called me Johanne.
Why is that odd? That's your name.
Yes, but have you ever heard him call me by such?
No. He calls you by your last, the Sola.
Exactly. That's how I knew there was something wrong. The king knows the importance of keeping appearances because I tirelessly remind him to do such. Yet that is not all. What I was saying to Eydis was that there was a moment between us.
A moment? A spark of some sort?
I don't know what to call it. I asked him why he decided to call me Johanne so suddenly. And he said, and I am not lying to you, a name as sweet as yours shouldn't be hidden all because of formality. I am rather afraid so, but that is just the tip of the iceberg. He then proceeded to flirtatiously look up and down my body.
No!
Or winking at me.
What? So why did you use the word penetrative?
I was going to say his eyes penetrated my soul.
I feel like penetrative is too much of a sexual connotation to be used in such a way.
I have to agree, like...
I was just trying to explain how intimate and vulnerable I felt.
Stop! The more you speak, the more I see in the quick moment as I close my eyes. It is scary.
Shut up.
Well! Oof. By the sound of it, it seems the king is the treacherous traitor. Not you. So I must ask, why aren't you rushing to tell the queen? Are you doubting yourself on how you've read the situation in order to spare her feelings?
No. Worse, actually.
Worse?
It is because I cannot see the queen right now. She is rather busy. Right, Eydis?
Yes, busy. Rather busy. She is busy preparing for the ball tonight. You know how Her Majesty is when she gets in the zone.
Yes.
You're right. Her Majesty doesn't like to be interrupted. But Johanne, you must tell her.
Oh, trust me, friend. By the end of the day, the queen will know.
I am so sorry the king has put you in such a perplexing situation. I'm even more surprised he's acting in such a way.
Promise you won't tell a soul, Elric. I will fix this. I will put an end to the king's advances and tell the queen before she has the chance to sleep in that liar's bed.
You are so noble, Johanne. Techeria is truly lucky to have you.
I have been hearing that a lot lately.
Well, don't take it for granted. Well, that was shocking news, to say the least. Unfortunately, I have to part. Even though I would love to discuss more, the queen does need protecting. I was simply taking a quick visit to the men's washroom, so I need to hurry back. But I promise you both, the secret will stay safe with me. I do not wish to disturb the queen's day so early.
Thank you, Elric, for understanding and keeping my secret.
My pleasure. Sister, Johanne, I bid you a good day. And don't neglect to tell me the queen's reaction tomorrow. I do look forward to hearing such juicy gossip.
I think you made a mistake.
Oh, I have. I shouldn't have acted that way with the queen to begin with.
No, in not telling my brother. I mean, he could have helped us.
The less people that know, the better. I know that is your brother, and I'm sure it's hard to keep such a big secret from him, but trust me, this is for the best. What? Are you going to betray me and tell him?
No. Never. Your secret dies with me, remember? I meant that.
Thank you, Eydis. Well, seems I've spent too much time chit-chatting. I must start working on these plans for the king. Despite my current frazzlement, Hatcheria will always be the first love in my heart. So I'll find you as soon as I'm done talking to the researchers.
I have to get back to His Majesty anyway.
Okay, I will see you soon. And again, Eydis, thank you.
Truly, what would this kingdom do without you, Johanne? Surely, if this plan falls through, Hatcheria will be in shambles. It's clear that the king and queen's love for each other has been extended to others. But why do I feel like we don't have the big picture? And more concerningly, or more interestingly, why is Johanne in the middle of it? Only time will tell, I suppose.
Perhaps we can put the musicians over there in that corner?
It is suitable, yet only for a smaller group of musicians.
Why is this so hard?
Your Majesty, you have thrown many balls in this room in your 3 years here, and every time you find a new way to configure the space to keep your guests on their toes. However, it is bound to happen where you have milked everything the cow has.
You may be right, but I refuse to give up hope just yet. Give me some time alone. I need space to ponder.
Of course, Your Majesty. I can't wait to hear what new ideas you come up with after some time thinking.
Thank you.
There you are, my heart.
My dear king,
How goes preparing another ball?
I'm afraid it's been too long since I've hosted one. I hope our citizens don't think their queen is lazy or doesn't like grandeur, or even worse, doesn't care for them.
You worry so much, but you don't need to. You are well loved here.
I know. I can't help it. It's been far too long since I've hosted a ball. I'm afraid the distance we showed our citizens still lingers in their beautiful minds. A scar that still needs time to mend. While I no longer think they doubt our love for each other, which is good, our love for them, on the other hand, can still be called into question. It's not like I leave the palace often.
Funny you say that.
Really?
I was talking to Johanne earlier today in the council room. We were discussing the expansion
I'm
of our
sorry,
kingdom.
my dear, but did you say Johanne?
Yes. Yes, I did. What, you thought you were the only one that got the privilege to call them such?
No. No.
Ingrid?
Well, maybe a little. Johanne was my first friend here. Even before I say I considered ourselves to be friends. We were both new to Hatcheria, a little lost, and desired a purpose that you so graciously gave to the both of us. Calling them Johanne while you called them Isola meant that I had something of my own in a place that felt so foreign to me. Moving here so far from home made me feel so alone, but they didn't. So forgive me for thinking me calling them Johanne was something special for us.
I apologize. I did not know. And here I thought you were simply jealous.
Jealous?
Due to our group conversation this morning, it is clear Johanne likes me more than you.
I wouldn't be too sure about that.
Oh, what? Did you two discuss it after I left?
Maybe.
You are truly a vixen, waiting for me to leave to stab me in the back.
It's not my fault Johanne trusts me more than you. Maybe if you let down that hardened shell of yours like you did with me a few short years back, you might have a chance of beating me to their affection.
I think I already have.
What?
Sorry to interrupt, Your Majesties, but my king, you have papers to sign.
Johanne fast at work, I see. I'm coming. Sorry, my heart. Duty calls for me.
It's quite all right, but what were you saying about Johanne?
Oh, what? I thought you brought them up.
No, my dear, you did when I talked of leaving the palace.
Oh, it is far too much, and papers need signing. But I do apologize. I did not know the significance of you calling them Johanne. Those days when we weren't in love, I bet you felt rather alone. I never want you to feel that way again for as long as I live.
I won't. I have you.
No, I have you.
Let me guess. Still need some thinking time, Your Majesty.
Yes, Marianne, but perhaps you can help me. It seems my mind is...
Elsewhere?
Yes, elsewhere.
Of course, Your Majesty. I would love to be of some assistance.
You came mighty quick.
Well, it was inevitable. You work so fast, Johanne. I just have to go over there and do my part. I was told you already have things for me to sign. Is that incorrect?
Yes, Your Majesty, you are indeed correct. Please excuse me. Just let me finish preparing your desk. I was refilling your ink pen just before you arrived.
You did not have to do that, Johanne.
I know, but I wanted to. There you go, Your Majesty. I'm terribly sorry, Your Majesty. I will clean this up the case.
This is quite all right, Johanne. A simple mistake.
Please, Your Majesty, careful. You're going to get ink on your hands.
Seems like I'm in quite the predicament.
Don't worry, Your hand is stained.
And yet you saved me from staining other items. What would I do without you? Oh, Lord, I've ruined your nice vest.
It's fine, Your Majesty. Now you can say we are even. Well, since it is already stained, we might as well use it to clean up this mess. It's not like squid ink is an easy stain to get out in a wash or two. Your Majesty, is something wrong?
What could possibly be wrong, Johanne?
Well, the ink that still lies on your hands and table, that is. Just take my vest to clean it up. I assure you, it is fine.
Do you happen to have another vest to put on right now, that is?
Yes? If you could take the one from my hand to do so.
Just set it on the table for me, will you?
Your Majesty, you must first turn your head to see the vest and grab it. You are only getting more ink on yourself. Mind your head. I'll do it myself. Your hands. Please, Your Majesty. I know this is not the most favorable position, but my eyes are up here.
Yes, thank you.
And I will very quickly get another vest on.
Yes, please do.
For appearance's sake.
Yes, appearances, very important.
Very important indeed. You know what I always say.
Always dress as if you need to impress.
Yes, so I will let you work on signing those papers. Oh, but the pen.
I will refill it this time. You have done enough.
Oh, I apologize. I shouldn't have been so clumsy.
Johanne, I told you it was quite all right. Why don't you believe me?
I do?
Yet you are over there fearful in the corner. You are so distant from me. I yearn for you to be closer. Why are you so afraid? Anything else?
No, Your Majesty.
Well, then, may you tell one of the servants to bring me a refreshment and some food, something small?
Have you not eaten yet today, Your Majesty?
No, which is why I'm asking for it.
Your Majesty, you should have eaten before coming here. These papers can wait.
With how hard you work, I can never find the time to. Something small will last me until dinner. I will be fine.
Has Her Majesty eaten yet?
I'm unsure, perhaps not.
Then the lunch for you both shall be prepared. At 1, at the Royal Garden. I shall tell the Queen. I do hope you will be able to come.
I will try my best for you, Isola.
Your Majesty.
Stefan, what did you do? The second you inch closer, you set yourself so far back you can no longer see the starting point. You desire them so much, your heart beats so fast whenever they're close. Yet, Johanne trembles in fear whenever you get too near. It's as if the walls I created between us seem too great, too monstrous for them to even attempt to climb. I am trying to be gentle, to let the timid cat out of their hiding spot, but I am too eager to catch. Perhaps now is not our time. My wife may have truly won their affections, and I will forever stay leagues behind.
You can't do this, you know. Drag me away from my post. I have a job which I take very seriously. And why are you shirtless?
I am not shirtless.
Practically, your shirt lays unbuttoned to let any handsome passerby take a handsome peek at your pets.
You speak as I am some whore.
You kind of are. With this whole royal situation.
Eydis!
You're yelling at me because I'm right.
No more talking from you. What you are going to do is listen to the genius plan on how I'm going to perfectly see where the king and queen lay with each other.
In their beds?
No, I meant feelings. Where their feelings lay. I mean it when I say no more words from you until I say so. Got it?
You said no speaking until you said so.
I have decided to set up a romantic lunch for the king and queen. They always eat dinner together, sure. But lunch is very rare for them due to their busy schedules, so it should be inherently special. I've decided I'm going to have it in the royal garden, next to the Cupid fountain and the rose bushes. Oh, it should be very romantic. And if I don't see any chemistry in a setting like that, I will know for sure there is trouble in paradise, and perhaps the ways I should go about to fix it. What do you think? You can speak, Eydis.
Sounds great, wonderful idea. Why are you shirtless?
I spilled ink on the king's desk.
So the desk should be dirty, not your vest.
It got onto my vest. How? Why are you so nosy?
Why did you choose for me to be in your business?
I don't. You just happened to stumble upon me in a moment of weakness.
Then you continued to confide in me after the fact, just as you're doing right now.
His Majesty spilled ink on his hands. He then proceeded to place the ink-stained hand on my back, thus ruining my vest.
How did you react to your vest being off?
Speaking of vest, I should go get another one.
Did he take a handsome peek at your pecs like I guessed?
Thank you for listening to my nonsense again, Eydis. Back to your post.
I knew it! The king likes him just like the queen does. The only thing I have to figure out now is how they haven't figured each other out. And so, the story continues.
Marianne, you have outdone yourself. This is simply amazing. I'm sure the king and queen would love to start the afternoon in such a way.
Oh, well, it was my pleasure, Joanne. I was quite surprised at the request, so I may have gone a tad overboard.
Oh, it is quite appreciated. You did tell the queen of the lunch, right?
Oh, yes. She should be on her way shortly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a ball to organize for this afternoon. Only finishing touches left.
Yes, please don't let me keep you. Soon, Marianne.
Very, Joanne, so Your Majesty.
Marianne. This is beautiful. You've outdone yourself, Joanne.
Oh, I don't deserve all of your praise. I only thought of the idea. Marianne deserves it all.
Well, I'll be sure to send her my gratitude. It's been far too long since I've had a moment out in the garden, let alone a picnic to accompany the atmosphere.
Only the best for you and the king, who is indeed a little late, but I'm sure we will see him soon.
Oh, you didn't know? Stefan won't be making it.
What?
He's still going through your papers. You know how he gets when he's working. Laser focused.
I know, but he said he would try to make it. But perhaps not.
Don't look so somber. I will still stay and enjoy the picnic with or without him. It's delicious.
Of course, Your Majesty. Quality is what you deserve. Are you in need of anything else for your picnic?
No, Marianne packed quite well.
Then I will let you eat and enjoy your lunch. I shall be off.
Come, sit with me, Joanne.
No, I shouldn't.
You packed this for two. It would be a shame if all of it goes to waste.
Oh, don't worry about that, Your Majesty. Whatever you don't finish, we will
Come.
send back.
Sit with me, Joanne. Go on, eat. Don't make me look like a pig devouring all this food on my own. Go closer so you can reach the strawberries.
No, I'm quite fine where I'm at. Thank you for your kindness, though, Your Majesty.
Fine. I'll just have to pass you a strawberry myself.
There's no need for that.
Joanne.
May you add chocolate to the strawberry if it's not too much?
One chocolate covered strawberry coming up for the Joanne Isola.
Oh, let me pass you a napkin.
It's okay.
Chocolate. All right then.
Here you go.
You're going to feed me the strawberry?
To save you the mess.
That is not necessary, Your Majesty. I'll just grab her for you.
And get your hands even more messy.
Even more? What do you mean?
I see small blotches of squid ink on your hands, and you're wearing a different vest from before. Did something happen?
No, nothing happened. I'm just clumsy and spilled ink on myself. You know me.
Which is why I should pass you the strawberry to make sure you don't ruin another attractive vest of yours.
Fine, but only because I know you'll refuse to hear no as a viable answer.
You're right. You know me so well. Such a messy eater, just like Stefan. What am I to do with you two?
Good.
No?
It's delightful. Do I have more on my face?
A little on the left. Come closer, I'll get it for you. I didn't want you to run away before. I wasn't mad at you, you know?
I shouldn't have done that. It was unacceptable. I beg for your forgiveness, Ingrid.
So you regret it? I see.
I shouldn't have kissed you, and you know that. Don't act like what I did was a mistake. I did it because I wanted to. You should be mad at me for that. Arresting me for treason, beheading me for advancing while you're—
You can't be this oblivious, Joanne. I wanted you to kiss me. I was practically begging you for it. And here I am, trying to see if it was simply a spur of the moment decision, or if there was a hint of something more, something real. So if your words are true, if you regret it, tell me now so I can be done with it. But I'm giving you a way in.
But His Majesty—
No need to think of Stefan or I. Think of what you want with me and you. What you want from this, from us. Elric and Marianne! Is something wrong?
Nothing is wrong, Your Majesty. You are as safe as you can be. I was simply escorting Marianne as she's in need of your assistance for tonight's ball.
Yes, Your Majesty. We're almost finished decorating the ballroom, and I'd like for you to come see if it's to your satisfaction. Your Majesty, are you all right? You seem uneasy.
Yes, Marianne, I'm fine.
Shall I fetch you a fan, my queen? An umbrella for shade?
No need for hospitality. I'm all right. I will follow you to the palace. I'm more than done here. Joanne, please think of what I said.
What is this?
a picnic I made for the Queen and the King. But Her Majesty was the only one to show. If you may excuse me, Elric, I need someone to clean this and to wash my face.
Why do we need to wash your face?
I may have been a little messy while eating a chocolate strawberry. My face is unbearably sticky.
Shall I tell Marianne to give the queen a moment so she can freshen up?
Oh, there's no need. Her Majesty didn't have any of the chocolate, only things off of the charcuterie board. If you desire anything off the picnic, help yourself. I wouldn't want the food to go to waste.
Perhaps I shall. Joanne has surely outdid himself. Oh. Her Majesty didn't have any of the chocolate. Yet there were traces of chocolate on her fingers. Enough to need to lick them clean. Well, Joanne ate some herself and looked cleanly despite their claims of being messy. Did Her Majesty feed Joanne a chocolate-covered strawberry? No. It must have been friendly. Well, I have never done an action with my mates. Given their connection to feminine nature, may not be such a weird thing to do. Yes. It is fine. Nothing more to think more about. And yet here they lie in the royal garden, the most romantic place on the premises with its marble fountains and red rose bushes in a secluded place away from the castle. Did Joanne just lie to me just now? Did they actually set up this picnic so they can flirt with the king without onlookers? Then did they lie to me before about the king? Did they seduce him too and then lie to my sister about it? That traitorous, backstabbing monster, swindling the palace, feeding upon their own desires. Who knows what their plans will detail if they win? Could it lead to the throning of one of my majesties? A romantic coup so they can lead Hachuria themselves, Oh, I must tell Eydis right away. Once I'm properly excused from Her Majesty, that is.
I knew I heard footsteps! How was lunch with the Queen? I'm terribly sorry His Majesty didn't come. I tried to get him to go for you, I really did, but he said, "Work must always come first, Eddingston. Now go protect the door, as I have trained and paid you to do." And you know, I must follow orders. Johanne? Hey, why aren't you talking? Hey, whoa, what's wrong?
I think I've ruined everything because of that godforsaken kiss this morning. I wish I never did it.
Why? What happened?
Because of that damned kiss, Her Majesty is smitten with me. And now she says she wants to be with me. That definitely has to mean that she's given up on His Majesty.
Look, don't panic, Johanne. We knew this from the beginning, didn't we? That's why we went on this journey in the first place. His Majesty has been acting suspicious, but we haven't failed yet.
Something happened between the king and I. After I spilled the ink and stripped myself of my vest.
You did take a handsome peek at your pecs.
He did. And after I kindly corrected his behavior, he tried to kiss me. I made no moves beforehand, and I have been doing my utmost best to make it clear that I am not interested. And he still made a move. I stopped it, of course. And yet he dared to go further, saying that he craves my presence next to his. I refused, of course. And now he thinks I am afraid of him.
Well, you are, aren't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're scared that you yearn for him as much as he does for you. Yet you don't want to make the same mistake you did with Her Majesty, further ruining your relationship. You knew this from the beginning, didn't you?
He stopped calling me Isola. He surely hates me now. I am so incredibly foolish. I relished in our progress together due to my feelings for him when I should have shut it down the moment he called me by name. Now it is too late. And we may never be friends, which is what I've wanted for so long. The Queen and the King despise me for confusing their heads. And I may never be able to reignite their love the way I had originally hoped. Etruria is done for. And it is all because of me.
I know your heart aches. But if they truly love you, this shouldn't be the end of what you have, but the start of something new and different. I'm sorry that your heart aches. It may for a long time. But I believe in your strength to truly move past this. Okay, what you're gonna do is get yourself cleaned up and prepare yourself to reject the king and queen's advances in a respectable manner, with no mention of your secrets. And then tonight, after the ball, I will be by your side and pick up all the pieces.
Thank you, Eydis. What would I do without you, my friend?
Plenty. You are Johanne Sola, head chamberlain of Etruria. This kingdom is nothing without you. Everybody knows that.
yet?
Patience, Stefan.
Can you blame me for being antsy, my heart? I'm rather excited to see what you have crafted for tonight's ball.
Well, wait, no more. All right, open.
Oh my, Ingrid, you have outdone yourself. How do you do it time and time again?
I've had sudden inspiration.
Oh, I see. Trying to charm a special someone?
Maybe.
I do hope it's me.
I fear I have you wrapped around my little finger. There's no escaping me.
You truly do. I'm more than excited for tonight. I am sure this will be a night to remember for our guests.
Yes, since we do have something rather big to announce tonight.
Yes, of course.
We do have something to announce tonight, right? You're ready to tell everyone, correct?
I said yes, my heart.
Then why didn't you come to lunch today, dearest? After Marianne told me of Joanne's plans, I told her to tell you to come on my behalf. She did tell you, did she not?
She did.
I know she did. Because I asked Eydis if she stopped by before I entered your office. So why didn't you come? I thought we discussed last night that we tell Joanne today. We've been holding it off for far too long. It's been killing us both, has it not?
It most definitely has.
I admittedly felt a little abandoned. For Christ's sakes, Stefan, we are planning to tell something about our private lives to our high-class citizens at this very ball, and our own Chamberlain doesn't even know.
I planned to come, truly I did. I had set aside my work for later. I stood up out of my chair. I even walked towards the door. And I placed my hand on the doorknob, but then I panicked.
Why? Ever since we found out, you've been rather excited. Even this morning, you told me you and Joanne had gotten closer. So what made you hesitate?
I came to the conclusion that it was not yet our time.
Ours?
Joanne and I. I'm afraid our relationship is still too formal for such a reveal, as I was worried about last night.
I'm sorry, my dear.
It's quite all right. I will simply have to start over. Create a relationship with them that is new and different. Perhaps if I extend my hand, Joanne will not be so afraid to extend theirs in due time. But I do apologize. I shouldn't have used my work as a ruse for my shame. I did not want to take that moment away from you. And I still don't want to.
It's not supposed to be this way. We're supposed to do this together.
I know, but Ingrid, my heart, tell them the truth so you can be prepared to announce it at tonight's ball. I will be all right. I have you by my side.
Stefan?
Yes?
I've already told them.
Elric, what are you doing? Shouldn't you be getting ready for the ball?
I would be if you came sooner. What took you so long, sister?
You know, it takes a lady a while to get ready. Now hurry, we only have 2 short hours before guests are arriving, and we still need to secure the perimeter.
We need to talk first.
You know the threat?
I do. It may be hard to believe at first, but sister, please, hear me out first before you speak.
All right.
It's Joanne.
You're very funny, brother.
I'm not joking, Eydis. They are a threat to our majesties, hell to Etruria as a whole.
What? Are they planning to kill the king and queen tonight at the ball? You have to hear yourself, brother.
They very well might be.
Okay, Elric, that is not funny.
I was never joking. I have ample evidence that they are trying to overthrow either the king or queen
How?
by trying to woo them.
By trying to woo them. The king flirted with them, remember? Not the other way around?
Can you prove that?
No. But that's what they told me, and I very well believe it. And you should too, instead of filling your head with these conspiracies. I know you take your duties very seriously, but there's no need to speculate. Joanne has got this covered. Now can you please get ready?
You're not listening to me. Your own brother. But you're so quick to listen to that traitor.
You know what? Fine, Elric, I am listening to you, but only because you're blood. Otherwise, I will let you ramble your madness elsewhere. Now, what makes you believe this conspiracy from the one thing you were told earlier this morning?
It's not just that. I've gathered new evidence.
New evidence? Has Johanne told you something?
No. At least not intentionally. Did Johanne tell you that they set up a picnic earlier this afternoon?
Yes, for the king and queen.
Did they tell you where?
Yes, in the royal gardens.
Did they tell you why?
Yes, Elric, to gain insight on where the king and queen lay with each other.
Their bed?
Feelings. Where their feelings lie. And as you can see, since I knew about it, nothing nefarious is going on. Now, can we drop this, please? You need to get ready.
But did they tell you what happened at this picnic?
The king didn't come.
Oh! The king didn't come, huh?
Yes, he told Marianne he was too busy working. It's as simple as that.
Enlighten me, sister. What was His Majesty busy working on?
He was writing and signing papers. Is there a point to this? You're carrying on like we have all the time in the world.
Play along for just a little longer. I'm almost at the reveal.
Okay, what's so big about this then, genius?
Who's the one who quickly assigned him all that work to do?
Johanne was simply doing their job. You can't possibly using that as a reason for why he was absent.
Oh, yes indeed I can. They did it on purpose.
Okay, so what? Big whoop. They had a short but nice picnic with each other. They're friends. It's not weird. Are you done?
Joanne's face was sticky, with no chocolate-covered napkins nearby.
They licked their fingers clean after wiping their faces.
And yet, only her face was sticky, not her fingers.
Simple mistake.
Or slip of the tongue revealing the truth. I'm guessing that they planned the picnic at such a time on purpose so the king cannot attend.
But why?
Giving the opportunity to tell the queen what happens between them in private. Knowing that she would be sad and heartbroken by the news. They used such a vulnerable moment of hers to sneak their false feelings into her head. Giving to how close they are, and for so long, I bet it wasn't hard to get that poor woman to swoon. Johanne must have seemed like a knight in shining armor to her.
But why?
To rule Hatchuria, of course. The queen will find a way to dethrone His Majesty, someday marry Johanne, and they will co-lead Hatchuria in an albeit wonderful future, yet under false pretenses.
Oh, so you think Johanne has been planning this for a while now?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. All I know is they saw an opportunity and struck it. I'm sorry, Eydis, but they've been lying to you this entire time. But they've been lying to everyone here. I'm off to tell the king to put this madness to an end.
I can't let you do that.
What? After everything I just told you, you're still going to side with them? That traitor! You are sworn to protect the throne. Are you betraying your oath?
No, of course not. I simply think that this is a misunderstanding. I don't think you have the full picture. Your theory depends on the idea of the queen as some weak, fragile woman in need of romance after what should be the biggest heartbreak she could possibly go through. You're not thinking straight, brother. How about we talk to Johanne? Get the full story from them?
No. We must tell the king before the queen confronts him, because if I am right, Johanne Sola has committed an act of high treason by actively being flirtatious with the queen. If what you're saying about them is true, they'll simply have to tell their story in prison.
Look, Elric. Johanne didn't tell you everything this morning. I don't know if they were right, but they were worried about this exact situation happening. I can't tell if they were right about not telling you or if I was right about telling you from the start, but if I tell you, will you listen? It's terribly complicated, but I promise they didn't do it out of malice or any ill intentions in their heart.
No. I'll ask the questions, accomplice!
Accomplice?
You both have been lying to me from the very beginning. Let me guess. Johanne has found themselves romantically entangled with the queen this entire time. That is why you've been trying to escape this conversation from the very beginning. Who? They are, aren't they? But because the king unexpectedly flirted with them this morning, everything has gone awry. Well, speak!
Yes, all right. But it's not what you think. They are genuinely trying to get them back together.
What did Johanne do? Tell me now.
It was a kiss. It was brief and a complete accident. And the queen kissed them back, so can you really put Johanne at fault? I mean, it's not like you can arrest the queen for cheating on the king. Can you?
If you want me to believe that story of theirs, you're gonna have to tell me exactly how it all happened. What led up to it?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, okay? They spare me all the intimate details, but I believe somewhere amongst all of this that they are innocent.
If you ask for no details, that allows for you to be deceived. You will be the true reason for Haturia's fall.
I would never betray Haturia, and you know that. Trust me, brother.
I trusted you so much that I believed Johanne when they said they wouldn't betray Haturia too. Now, out of my way. I must notify the king.
No.
Okay. Don't play this game. Eydis, move. It's already hard enough to know I'll have to see your arrest. Don't make me fight you too.
I'm not moving.
So be it.
We both know I'm the better fighter.
Sparring maybe, but when Haturia's on the line, I beg to differ.
Surrender! Surrender your godforsaken Christ and move on from this.
Pride is all a man has. No. Eydis, just say you surrender.
If I had armor on, I totally would have won.
Eydis, surrender.
Okay, I surrender. Thanks. Now that your pride has come the best of you, can we now please... Whoa! Hey! Are you seriously arresting me right now?
Yes, you're an accomplice to treason.
Oh, Elric, don't be an ass. I am your sister. I would never arrest you for this. Especially something as stupid.
With you being Haturia's top guard, that is concerning on so many levels. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must notify the king.
You are not excused. Elric! Elric! Stupid prick.
Come in. Oh, Isola. If you're looking for the signed papers, they are in my office waiting for you.
Thank you, Your Majesty, but I didn't come here to talk about the whereabouts of the papers. I came here to talk to you.
If it's about what happened earlier, please, I beg of you, excuse my behavior. It was out of character, very unkingly of me, wasn't it?
Permission to speak honestly?
Permission granted.
Then yes, it was.
Brutally honest. I can't complain because it is one of the many reasons why I hired you.
But past your honorifics, I saw someone asking for a friend today. Is that true?
Isola.
Because I've wanted to be your friend for years, Your Majesty. I think it is only natural for these feelings to come about when I see you for such a large sum of my day. We share many interests with each other. I often have to hold myself back from discussing more with you to avoid being a bother, fearing that you desire a more professional relationship than something
Real.
Yes. So if I still have permission to speak honestly,
You do.
I came here to ask you if we can go hunting once the wind starts to get cold. I came here to ask you if you truly prefer ale over a fine glass of whiskey. I came here to ask you if I'm having personal problems and I need someone to confide me on. I came here to ask you if you weren't a king, what would your life be like? Look like? I came here to ask you to call me Johanne. I want you to call me Johanne because I want us to be more than mere associates. I want us to be friends. Admittedly, I am afraid of you, Your Majesty. I am afraid that you will reject me. That if I get too close, you will see cracks in the armor that I wear as your chamberlain. Thus, before, I decided to be overly cautious with you, to not say anything extra, to not argue with your opinion, to not overstep my boundary, to not overstep my boundaries as your servant. And being a friend does that. But I can tell, I heard it in your voice in your office, that I have caused you pain, and I never want to do that. So I am allowing you to choose, Your Majesty. Do you want a friend or a royal chamberlain that you hired me to be? Because I am afraid you cannot have both. So I am asking you, telling you even, if you want a friend, I am more than willing to be it. But not because of pity, but because I've grown very fond of you.
You can be both because you already are. And I'm sorry I made you feel less than that. You've been my closest friend since the moment you stepped into these castle grounds. When my father passed, and a crown was thrusted upon my head before I had any true time to mourn, I put up a wall around myself. One moment I was a prince, ready to go off to study his interests in astronomy, and then the next I was king, responsible for the lives of over 1 million individuals. I studied my entire life to be king, and in that moment I felt so terribly lost and scared. I wasn't ready. But now I know you can never truly be ready to be king. But that wall almost ruined my marriage.
Really?
Yes. Did you know Ingrid was going to leave me?
No, she never told me that.
When I mention it now, she feels rather ashamed, even though she was completely right at the time. I was treating her like another one of my servants. As long as she did her queenly duties, I would ensure that she lived the life that she deserved with having such a title. One day, I caught her packing up her things. I asked her where she was going, and she said back home to Eurasia. But then I told her, right here, this castle, Hachuria, is her home now as per our marriage agreement. But then she told me something I would never forget.
What was it?
She told me she wasn't going back to Eurasia because she grew up there. She was going back because her friends, family, and community were. That they made her feel safe, welcomed, and appreciated, and that I wasn't doing that for her. She said that I wasn't being a husband, I was being a king, and a lousy one at that. She said if I couldn't even see her someone equal to me, then I must see my citizens as roaches. Thus, I must have seen the life I was living as a chore rather for a drive or a sense of purpose.
She has always been an upfront type of person.
She has. And I love that about her. It's her most attractive quality. And at that moment, I needed to realize that I had to stop letting the fact that I was king seclude me from everyone else. I could have lost someone I could have grown to love if I had simply given her the chance to be a friend first. And last night, I realized the same about you. Johanne, I would love to be your friend if you would have me.
Friend. I like the sound of that.
Wonderful. I hope one day I can repay you.
There is no need for that. Being your friend is plenty.
Well, then maybe you could call me Stefan, since we are friends now.
First the queen and now you? I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but I cannot. I respect you far too much for that. Now that we have reconciled, I must go help the queen before her guests arrive. If you may excuse me.
Think about it, maybe.
I won't, Your Majesty. But I do cherish the permission you have given me greatly. Not as a servant, but as someone allowing me to be equal to you. I will not take our newfound bond for granted until the day I pass.
Soon, Johanne.
Very, Your Majesty.
Come in. Johanne, did you... Eddington?
You must come with me, Your Majesty.
Elric, why are you so out of breath? And why aren't you prepared for the ball? Aren't you and your sister supposed to be doing a perimeter check right about now?
He must wait. Something dire has happened.
What is it? Is the castle in danger?
No. Johanne is in cahoots with your wife. You must come with me immediately.
Oh, Christ.
You look lovely, Your Majesty.
Johanne. You look dashingly beautiful.
Please, Your Majesty. I should be saying that about you. However, I'm sure you already know you are the most wondrous sight Hachuria has ever laid its eyes on.
You always know what to say to make a lady feel special.
About before, I just wanted to ask.
Majesty, I found poor Eydis tied up in the courtyard.
Oh, yes, what happened?
He knows everything.
Oh, Christ.
He knows he tied you up?
How?
Your picnic with the queen has set off way too many alarm bells in that smart, idiotic brain of his.
Our picnic. Johanne, what is she talking about?
What about the king? Does he know?
He's telling them as we speak.
Johanne, Eydis, what is going on?
There they are. There's the traitor.
Elric Eddington, what is the meaning of this?
Elric, what on earth are you doing? I've been shouting down the hall like a lunatic to get you to calm down. And now you're arresting my royal chamberlain on what possible grounds?
Your Majesty, you heard the truth the moment I entered your chambers. But I'll say it once more to clear the air for everyone. Johanne Sola, your royal chamberlain, has been actively flirtatious with your beloved wife, the queen.
No! Why?
Yes! Shocking indeed, Marianne. But do not totally fault yourself, my queen. I believe it was all part of a great scheme. Conquering your heart, so they can rule Hachuria themselves.
Brother! I think this is all a misunderstanding.
I may have some details wrong, accomplice, but there is no doubt in my mind that Johanne Sola has been actively flirtatious with the queen. That lunch of theirs proves so. What? Are you going to look me in my eye and tell me I'm lying again, or will you admit to defeat?
No, Eydis. It's all right. He is simply doing his duty.
How is the criminal the only one being fair? Johanne knows the truth.
But not even Johanne knows the full picture.
Your Majesty.
I purposefully flirted with Johanne because I am infatuated with them.
Are you willingly admitting to treason, Your Majesty?
No, because I gave her permission to do so.
What?
Because I, too, am infatuated with Johanne.
I knew it! Not to brag, but I totally knew it from the beginning.
If that's the case, Her Majesty, Eydis, and even Johanne themselves have technically done nothing wrong.
Okay. But that's
true. And I have been working tirelessly to mend a relationship I thought was broken, when in actuality it wasn't broken to begin with. Why the effort? Why me?
The other night we were talking about you, Johanne. Innocently, fondly.
During our conversation, I said Johanne would make a great partner to someone one day, and Ingrid agreed.
We talked about what kind of partner you'd be.
Supportive.
Caring.
Dependable.
You felt like home to us, like you were meant to be by our side.
We realized our equal fondness sounded familiar to us when we were first in love, what it felt like to be a team, wanting the best for Hachuria.
You could say our attraction for you started with your commitment to our dynasty.
And grew to curiosity at the thought of them being committed to us as well.
The only problem was, in our 3 years of knowing you, you never once mentioned romance. Ever!
We were afraid that romance was not of your interest, or perhaps your desires were not fluid enough for the both of us. So we decided to test the waters, so to speak.
See how you'd react to flirtation.
Clearly we received different responses, which is all right.
I feel like a pawn to a game I didn't agree to.
Well, technically you did, since you are my royal chamberlain. I can play with you however I want.
Why didn't you just tell me from the beginning? Why go through this entire scheme?
Funny you say that. We were going to. Would you like to explain that, dearest?
Ingrid was going to use the picnic you set up for us to tell you. Would have been perfect. A secluded area for the three of us to discuss what we were going to be. But before that moment was the ink incident.
Where I rejected your kiss.
You rejected my kiss.
Oh, so that's why you had ink on your hands.
Yes, unfortunately my hands are very stained.
If only I had known, then I would have...
No need to worry about ifs. I see you were simply trying to protect Ingrid.
Yes, and you begging for forgiveness to protect Stefan proves that your love for us is true and deep.
Johanne, please know you have done us no harm. Ingrid and I are fine. We still love each other deeply. She is my heart.
And he is my dear.
All we want to know is, do you want to be with us?
Can I officially be your favorite?
May you be the beat of my heart.
I don't know what to say.
Perhaps we should get you uncuffed first.
Yes, I do apologize. And I'm sorry too, sister. You were only trying to warn me.
It's all right. I mean, we both ended up pretty surprised in the end. But next time, listen to your sister. I am older and wiser.
You're older than me by 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Do not quote.
Are you both serious? You want me?
Badly.
Well, he's right. So will you have us?
And if you're not ready for me, I completely understand.
Oh, shut up. I want you both.
It's a yes.
It's a yes.
You made us the happiest royals in the whole world.
Thank you.
Oh my god! The ball! The ball! Your guests are arriving! We must hurry! We must hurry!
Oh, and the perimeter, it still needs to be checked. Quickly, one more thing before we part. We need to ask you something.
We were thinking of telling everyone tonight if we're joining together.
I made this ball just for you. It would be an honor if you would greet and dance alongside us tonight.
What about your citizens?
Our.
What about our citizens? How would they react?
They can react in any way they desire. I frankly do not care. I get to have you, just what I care about.
Yes. No need to worry about them. You make us happy. They can deal with it.
Oh. This is all so sudden.
You can say no.
Oh, I'm saying yes.
Wonderful. Take some time to think about it. Stefan and I will meet you outside. Marianne, tell the workers of our guests arriving we have to make this a night they won't forget.
Yes! Nothing less than perfection.
I can always count on you. Johanne, I will see you soon, dearest.
We work quite fast, don't we?
I know, we just became friends.
I have to thank you for giving me a chance. I'm so incredibly lucky to have you and Ingrid by my side.
We are lucky to have you. Now go out there and greet your guests, Your Majesty.
I am your boyfriend now. Stefan or a pet name of your choosing would be
Let's start with Stefan.
I like how that sounds.
Okay, well, everything turned out well in the end.
After we both almost got arrested.
Yes, I do apologize, Joanne.
Can I talk to your brother for a moment, Eydis?
Of course. I will check the perimeter alone, brother. You still need to get dressed. It's a ball, not a battlefield.
I'm so sorry, Joanne. I accused you of the most heinous acts, and you were only putting your feelings aside for the greater good. What can I do for your forgiveness?
First, you can get up. I may be dating royalty, but I am not worthy of a bow. You made a mistake. You are still my friend, Elric Eddington.
I do not deserve such a title.
You did what you thought was right. I am not angry with you. In fact, I would have done the same if I heard what I heard and saw what I saw. No harm has been done.
Thank you, Joanne. You truly are Arturia's best. Even the Majesties agree.
Come, we have a ball to attend.
You may be worthy of a bow soon enough.
What do you mean?
2 rings may be on your left finger before you know it. Soon I'll have to start calling you by your Majesty as well.
Only time will tell.